So one of my favorite things that people say about paganism is that we're not a people of the book, we're a people of the library. Like, you grow up yearning for something that you don't know exactly what it was, and it's not being filled by the places where you're looking for it, usually like church or whatever tradition you happen to grow up in, that there's like something else that just feels wistful and longing. What brings me awe and wonder and joy. And it turns out that those things are usually like nature. It's like being outside and being among the living things of our planet. And stories and music and being around people who have like, right, high energy, and you're just like, oh, it's exciting just to be like, if I follow this, I'm gonna learn more. And here I am.
Oh, I got lots of double A batteries. Do we want to both sit?
Yeah, come have a seat.
Here?
Or wherever you want to be. You can put the chairs wherever. I guess I would love to say first that in my own experience of identifying as a witch, like most people meet me with curiosity, if not excitement. Like, I have several pointy hats. Love my pointy hats. I make potions, right? Like, I think that there's reasons for these things that has, again, that like mythology to it, that adds an element of spark and wonder in addition to being like actually real. These ones are infused oils. So these are, it's organic olive oil that's got different herbs inside of it, and then crafted in like a ritual way. So I make potions out of plant magic, and I love calling them potions because it's that like callback to what witches do, which is make potions and spells. My favorite potion, the most simple potion, and the reason I have it up here, is a cup of tea. And I just want you to pay attention to the plant for a little bit. Like, what do you feel? What do you notice? Okay, make sure you're doing this thing where you like, when you say that, you're gonna swoop that energy up, whoosh it into your hands and be like, all right, this is gonna give me positivity. And you should Calendula's like, I'm here for it. Yes. Put me in, coach. I don't know, the mystic stuff is all around us, right? Like, the world is mystical. There's stuff you can't see, there's stuff you can feel but interact with. And so I think that my practice is really just about engaging that stuff and using it for my own well-being, but then like sharing it out and inviting people into that. I do think that it starts at tarot, because for me, tarot is something I love and something that I feel like I'm good at. It's one of my gifts, so I feel like that's something I can offer to people to invite them into this world of, yeah, there really is stuff that we interact with that you can't see, like the spirit world. I feel like lots of people don't feel like they have access to it for one reason or another, and so doing a tarot reading is one of those moments of just being like, no, it's in front of your face. Prayer to me is like, again, it's like relationship building. It doesn't have to have words. It's like if you pick up the phone and you can like feel that, like, you forget you're on the phone with somebody, right? Like, you know, when it stops feeling like you're talking through a thing and you're just connecting, like that's what prayer should feel like, is like you're connecting to something, and sort of being in relationship for like a moment. I think one of the things that humans do is ignore that there's stuff around us, and then we go tromping through it like it's not there and doesn't matter, and you're like, did you miss the fairy house at the base of that tree back there? You did. Well, that's sad. You have to loosen up your concept of reality a little bit. Like, do I think unicorns run across the land somewhere on the planet that you can find and ride? Probably not. But can you find them in your dreams and ride them? Absolutely. 100%. And it gets recorded in your memory the exact same way. So are they real? Yeah, they are. Just depends on where you go to find them, to ride them. To me, religion and spirituality can't be done in isolation. Like, you can't just do your own work on your own self and expect that like that is enough or okay. In like the tradition of Wicca, there's this rule of 3. It's like what you put out comes back to you threefold or something like that. So, and it kind of got twisted in a way, or got framed in a way that like, that's why we don't curse. Like, witches don't curse. It's not a thing that we do. And you know, for when I was starting out, that was kind of like the very popular mindset. So I was like, oh yeah, I don't curse. That's bad. Who would do that? And then I realized that injustice is a thing in the world, And that witches hold a place of like very, I'm not speaking from my own sense, but like historically, witches have held like a really marginalized place in society, whether they claim that name or that name gets put on them. So I've taken a new stance on cursing. I'm like, if you have power in the world and you're in a place of where somebody's trying to take that power from you and you are working to protect yourself and your community, yes, that's a great question. No, I totally grew up in like a very progressive Christian church. That's what I thought religion looked like because that's all I had really experienced. But I got to study religion as like an academic subject, and I was like, ooh, this is so exciting and interesting. And so that like I got into this idea very much academically. And then one day I was working with my friend at the Whole Foods deli that I worked at during college. And she said something about somebody being a witch, like as in that was their religion. And I was like, stop the press, what? Excuse me, this is a thing you can do? That kind of was like literally just this offhand comment. It kind of sent me on this rabbit hole journey of like, oh, there's this whole world out there that I'd never encountered before, never experienced, and like it's big and huge and wide. I just grew up here and had not run into it before. Well, so crystals are really fun. Crystals operate on the same theory and theology as plant magic, right? They are things that carry a certain energy, right? And so these ones are all in their raw form. They're not really highly polished and they're not really shaped. So you can kind of do what you would like to with them. There's the part of me that just is who I am in the world, and like so the way that I look at it and the way that I kind of move, that pretty much impacts everybody. I make sure that my kids grow up and like I make sure we talk to trees on the regular, because it's really important to recognize that this is a living thing. Like I call everything people. There's humans people, there's animals people, there's plants people, but we're all people. If you think about all of your actions and all of your energies, like being interwoven with all of the people around you.
Yeah.
We're all living in this giant web, right? It's not air, there's actually just like stuff connecting us all. This deck, until you flip the cards over, can be anything.
Yeah.
It's super magical. So hopefully something in there will work for you.
We want that. We